Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
I'm trying to test myself now. And I have a new thing to test myself. Can I stop talking about something once it's over?
All right. Is that today's mission?
That's today's mission.
All right.
So that thing with the sound went pretty smooth. Boop, 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 boop. He can't do it. Not possible, sir. Not possible. Uh-oh. I've already made a noise that is not an authorized noise. I mixed up I saw people wondering. Did you know that a lot of people were wondering?
Yeah.
They were wondering when I drink my protein powder, do I do it during the show? Is there any way I can save my mouth noises for other times during the day? Do I have to do this while you're talking?
So do you drink your protein powder with ice, or were you stirring it? You're stirring it.
I was stirring it.
Okay.
I've heard, you took me aside off pod.
Yeah.
And you told me some of the sounds that I make, and I'm sorry about that stammering, some of the sounds that I make that are bothersome to you. And I wanted to do my impression of a few of them. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, here's how you claim.
You threw in a free lip smack there, by the way.
You claim that whenever you're talking,
yeah,
that I do this. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, I referred to it as schnorking, I think.
Hey, sound Dennis Miller in there. I like that. And snorking. Hey, look, snorking. Where did I see Dennis Miller? Oh, I saw Dennis Miller. I was watching the Gary Shandling Zen Diaries, which is really pretty powerful. After Bob Saget, I mean, I can't kind of. What am I? Can you save me from what my mind's about to explode completely into not knowing what I'm talking about? Is it just pull out of the story? Is that what you would say?
You went Dennis Miller to Gary Shandling doc.
No, it's Dennis Miller. I think he's in the Gary Shandling Zen Diaries. And it was like Dennis Miller looking like a funny person or looking like a regular person even. I don't know where I saw it in. It could have been Dennis Miller and Bill Maher or something.
Yeah.
But it just looked like it looked like he was a human being, actually a human of the human race at one point.
Yeah.
So, no good? Did I fuck up already?
It's all right. Good? I mean, it just depends how much you want to abstract Dennis Miller.
I don't want to do. What is that? Well, first of all, I should stop you and say I don't know what abstract means. I mean, I know what it means as a word.
Right.
But what does it mean? Like make Dennis Miller into a concept?
Well, or into an abstraction of a human being.
Oh. No, I don't think he is a human being now. I think when they, first of all, you steered me wrong on our what's an animal and what's a rock thing. You steered me wrong. I find out now.
Right.
I find out that, tarantulas are considered living now after I go. I thought they were just an inanimate object that's falling down. Just kill me. Tell the people I died. You come back next week with Brandon Wardell.
I would like to either beat you with a rock or a spider.
I'd like to beat you with Brandon Wardell. And I'm going to keep saying it because you obviously don't know who Brandon Wardell is.
I do not know who Brandon Wardell is.
Nor should, and what if I said to you, Josh, nor should you?
Oh, the relief I'd feel if you'd say that.
I don't like, are you of the school that plop, plop, fizz, fizz was a great commercial? I'm not. I don't like the sounds, first of all,
you know what?
as you know.
I know. I would say the fact that you're talking about it 50 years later, yes, I think it was a good commercial.
Why? Based on what? Based on what?
Based on the motive for having a commercial.
Here's my new way of arguing. Yeah. On what basis do you form that opinion, hotshot? Yes, sir. Mr. Kindler, we're going to have to stop you. Well, am I breaking some kind of debate rules? I don't know. I can't do comedy once it gets into a sketch.
All right. That's not your area.
No, it's not. But you know what I do well? Fake laughing.
Yeah, you do. And I appreciate it.
How are you feeling?
Old Jew Medical Corner.
First of all, enough about me. Let's go more about me, but preface it with a quick, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Before I launch into one of my monologues.
I feel I'm a little plateaued right now, and I'm not thrilled by that.
Okay. I know what you're talking about. You're not talking about code. You're talking about recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what there is to do about that, but that's kind of, it's not like I was off painkillers for a couple of days trying to just Tylenol it, and that was not cutting it. So I'm not there yet.
Oh man.
But it's still like like 2 a day, like one. I just like the pain sort of mounts over time throughout the day. So like late afternoon, I finally have to take one, and then one for bed.
Because of the class, it still applies the classic "get ahead of the pain" thing, right? Still far ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's not. I mean the good news is that it's not spiking at such a high level.
Right.
But it's just like after hours of sort of this constant like toothache in my legs, it starts to become,
toothache in your leg is a really way of saying it that conveys what's going on there.
Yeah.
An unnatural pain in a part that you don't want that kind of pain. You don't even want it in your teeth.
Right.
Wow. Is it 5 weeks or 4 weeks?
I think it's 5 now.
Are you proud of me that I was able to figure out how long it's been since your operation?
I guess I am, but we talk like twice a week, so I don't feel
Yeah, but
like
do you know how I did it? You know how I did it?
From New Year's?
Yeah. That's how I did.
Yeah.
It's the end of the year. I know it was it the day? It was, first my mind says, it was New Year's Day, wasn't it? No, stupid. I call myself stupid, but it's a fun game.
When you said that, I went, oh, that's so impressive that Andy remembered that. I hope he shows his work.
My God, you really enjoyed that delivery. It's like if that doesn't get the kinks out of your
when you have that extra moment to formulate it, you can really get behind it.
I would almost prescribe that as a therapy. That what you just did. Hey, come on, that's funny. Which is worse, me saying the joke or me immediately before? Because so I just say I don't even give enough time for a human to react.
Yeah.
To whether they think it's funny.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say which is worse.
I just want to tell you, and not just because I like my friend Jesse.
Yeah.
But this coffee is excellent. It's Ruby coffee.
I have not tried it yet, but I will. And thank you for it.
No, that's not why I bring it up. I've given you a lot of free coffee. I mean, you'd think by this time that you'd be a card would be. I do a good impression of not a terrible person. It's not a terrible person.
I'll record you a thank you note on my 8-track.
I have a new way of dropping stuff by your house. I go like, yeah, I'm a block away. It's going on your porch, and God bless you.
I don't care if you want it.
I don't care if you want it. Also, can you hide these case of black diamond firecrackers or whatever it is? Susan doesn't want me to have any fire. Susan told me to get the firecrackers out of the house. What's the matter with her?
Suddenly you're Bruno Kirby with a bag of guns in my house.
I am endlessly, since it's my favorite movie, probably still, is endlessly fascinated with how much Bruno Kirby doesn't give a fuck what Albert Brooks has to say in that. He likes him in that movie, Modern Romance, but he's not that much cares about him in his relationship.
Yeah.
I like Bruno Kirby, I think, in everything.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. But I don't like the way he passed away youngish.
No, that wasn't good.
And I like the way nobody ever talks about it.
It wasn't a strong choice.
I'm almost dead too. Oh. No, now I remember what I was going to say. Hearing Bob Saget talk about his relationship with Gary, in retrospect of Bob being gone. I mean, it's not just like I'm being maudlin.
Yeah, they had a falling out because of Brad Gray, right?
Right, but then he tells a very funny story about how, he sees Gary, and he says, Gary, I just can't go on thinking the rest of my life we're not going to be friends. And so Gary goes, oh, okay, great. What's your number or something like that? I mean, he just snapped right at him. Oh, no problem. So it was like the feeling that Bob was conveying was that he felt that Gary loved him. You know what I mean? So he would have felt worse if it was like Gary felt no feelings about it. Anyway, it was I was kind of in the mood. I hadn't seen the Zen Diaries thing in a while, and it was like, if you're in the mood, it's really amazing because you see Shandling, amazingly hilarious. I know he's always hilarious, but Judd does provide a lot of footage. But in this particular case, he got a lot of great things.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's sort of both the up and down side of the thing, which is the upside is if you go, all right, I'm going to make it 4 hours, you can get a lot of shit in.
Right, exactly.
And then the downside, of course, is that it's 4 hours. But in this case, you'll hang for 4 hours for Shandling, and luckily Judd's taste in the stuff he picks is great. So
also, he's good, very nice to the woman who was her name was Darlene on the show. I forget. Linda
Doucette. Yeah.
Yeah, and just the fact I was fascinated by the fact that Gary, first of all, that he took. It's so interesting to me. I feel, in a way, it's hard not to feel sad for him.
Yeah,
Gary, because he in a certain sense wasn't able to celebrate how funny he was. Like because of his family upbringing and everything and how he reacted to it. He had a he was very serious about comedy.
Yes.
Which I don't think he enjoyed. I don't even think he enjoyed. It wasn't like he wanted to be that way, but he just couldn't. Like, even when he was doing Larry Sanders, he was like, even while he was shooting that, he was still saying, is this right? He was still questioning every single thing on that show.
Yeah. And it's weird because generally fear-based comedy doesn't work.
Exactly. That's a really interesting point. The fact that this would not be something you would normally consider would produce maybe the best show on television, right, or arguably
But his fear of missing a joke or the best joke,
is insane.
Made his stuff better, presumably.
Well, also, when he was doing, it does seem like, I'm sure you've worked with a lot of people, or in the shows you've done where you work with people who they're unhappy with everything, but they also aren't writing everything. And right, he seems like he would kind of like take the show apart, but then he would do things like walk away, like walk off the set for 3 days.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
the times I was around him, he always seemed at least slightly pained, and then
yes, that's true, and
then ranging to much more pained.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what I was thinking of.
And a couple times it was at his house, so it was like, he was presumably his home turf was going to make him as comfortable as he was going to be.
Is this during the basketball?
No,
thing?
I was never part of that. I went to his house to write a thing.
All right, please forgive me, but I don't remember if you used to play basketball a lot.
I did not play basketball a lot.
But did your brother?
No.
All right. It's like the world's worst Kreskin.
There is no ghost basketball figure in the past.
I'm seeing your brother I'm seeing Boise, and I'm getting a lot of Idaho in your upbringing. Is that anything?
The most basketball I ever played was for like a year. We had like a late night comics game once a week in a church basement basketball court in Minneapolis.
Was that Louis Anderson was there too?
Maybe it was more like for 6 months.
Was that Scott Hansen and all the local comics?
Was there, yeah.
This is exciting.
Scott Hansen did a lot of set shots.
And here's the other thing, though. I would love to do a documentary of your time on the team.
Yeah, well, I'd love to see it.
I wanted to say something to you. I know that we have a lot. No, I guess this is a day that we don't have anything to do. I have a question to ask you. I have a joke. And that's not even a joke. Why am I saying this? I realized that our favorite commercial song, would not be appropriate after certain commercials. Like, I can't think of one name. Think of a name of a cancer place, but it's not so, or something that's like a cancer place, but not so serious.
The Sloan Kettering Clown School.
Right. As the Sloan Kettering Clown School, the children never pay, and it's all about them.
He said it too.
I know you could argue it's obvious, but it's still fun.
Oh, you really thought I didn't know where you were headed?
I would never give myself credit for burying the lead or whatever.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you did open with our favorite commercial song.
Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
That I don't know if you know this, that I enjoy TV but don't like commercials. The TV part I like, commercials not so good.
Ow, it's not TV, not TV. It's those commercials that get me.
It's starting to bother me, some of these. Maybe it's when I watch TV, but some of these, I mean, a lot of these Medicare commercials are great.
Yeah,
a lot of them are great.
Sure.
But when he says, but when this is the pitch, even if you called last year.
Right.
How awful is that? Like you would be yelled at. Hey.
Right. We won't scold you like your children do.
That's so terrible. Even, are you telling me that your company, which sounds like a charity of some type,
right. Even if you're that lady who calls every day,
you're still going to not charge me for my calls? Oh my God. And here's the other thing. Joe Namath now, what is he doing with I never noticed all the hideous gesturing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have a little grace. Bear Bryant, Alabama, Super Bowl III grace in your commercial. You can't say I attach too much importance to unimportant things.
No. Speaking of which, Tom Brady retired.
He did?
Yes.
Oh my God. I really don't care, but I do feel something about it.
Yeah. Relief.
Why did it become controversial? Just because someone leaked it?
Yeah.
That's a rough life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is Tom Brady so glum? Someone fucking teased his, I'm taking my talents to a retirement community in Miami. Come on. If I was doing the condo circuit, that's the joke I would open with. Well, if
people listened to our show, they would have announced your retirement by now.
What do you mean if people, why does it have to be a double whammy? I don't think you realize how many people do listen to the show, because if you did, you'd jump off a building. What if we had, and I'm not even joking about this, what if our total viewership, that's the problem right there. I don't even know what market I'm in.
All right.
I think our viewers are expecting a different show from us now, Josh, our viewers.
The viewers are, for sure.
I'm just trying to get eyeballs.
At the water cooler.
I just want to get eyeballs at the water cooler talking about our podcast. By the way, if you're a CNN fan, which I'm not, you can get John King's Inside Politics as a podcast.
Have you been awake long enough to see that Zucker resigned today?
This can't be Christmas. It's Christmas. Yes. Go. I didn't know he was still there. Oh my God. Jeff Zucker resigns. What was the latest thing?
He had a relationship with another executive at the company and did not disclose it to the company.
Don't tell me this. Oh wait,
which came out in the Cuomo investigation.
Can I get this? I will cry with tears if you put this in a package for me.
Yes. Great way to kick off Schadenfreude History Month.
All right, you got to give me a little bit more than this, because I was laughing during it. It sounds terrible. Now, was this a relationship that the other person wanted?
Yes, it was. It was a consensual relationship, but apparently company policy is you gotta tell management, even if you are management.
Well, that might have been one of the least offensive things he's done in his life, Jeff Zucker.
Yeah. Well, and I was going, why can't guys keep their dicks in their pants at work? And then I was like, oh, that's how I met my wife. So.
Oh my God! Don't say this on the podcast or something. Your wife will not want to. I can't do characters anymore. Here, I just made a shift, Josh. I've made an actual dynamic shift.
Mm-hmm.
What was that sound?
It was. Mm-hmm.
Is that something like are you?
No, it very much was trying to encourage you to continue.
I forgot. Okay, I forgot. Did I do my one call already?
I lost it after you threw off with my response.
Oh, okay. Did I do the joke about he'd sign me too?
Yeah.
Oh, so Joe Namath, I did the thing about him gesturing.
Yeah.
Gesturing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, CNN. Okay, CNN.
Right.
I have a couple things. You may say CNN is great. I say it's not so great. You may tell people this is what you should watch if you want the news. I say not so good. And now you're telling me. Also, can you update me on Whoopi?
Whoopi keeps digging.
But didn't they tell her to go away for 2 weeks?
They did, yeah. And then she went on, I think, Colbert.
Wait, don't tell me. Did she get upset about that?
She went on Colbert and sort of kind of reiterated that she did, that it's not really about race. She's going to get stripped of her Goldberg.
I love these Whoopi, Joe. More Whoopi. Oh, God, I'm back. I'm back, is what I'm saying.
People have a hard time understanding the whole race and religion in one thing.
Yes, can you? I'm asking you to explain to me a little bit so that, and not that I don't get it, but I'd like to hear your take on it.
Well, it's an ethnicity, Judaism, ultimately.
Right, and what is the difference between now? You know, I don't know the difference between a rock and a hard place.
Or a
What's
bird.
the difference between ethnicity? Is ethnicity a subdivision of race?
No, I would.
Or it is a race.
I would say it's a race. It's interchangeable.
Right. Isn't it also semantics? Here's the problem.
But I mean, you know, like my dad's family, we're all from a shtetl in the Ukraine.
Stop saying, don't curse, don't yell at
But
me.
no one has ever referred to themselves as Ukrainian in my family.
Oh, okay. Right. How does that tie in? Tell me. I'm a little lost.
Again, it's Jews. Jews are their own thing.
Right. Oh, even though they were but the argument would be if we weren't persecuted, we might not be a thing that would hang out together. We wouldn't even notice it. If it was all based on the,
Yeah, I mean, if we weren't, you know, either eradicated or moved around en masse for hundreds to thousands of years,
then we could have at least blended in. But the thing that I don't mean to cut in, but the thing that she really blows is the fact that, I mean, she doesn't get is that, the Jews were looked at were sold as an inferior race of not even humans, maybe.
right?
So that's where, but is that just a horrific semantic mistake that she's making? Or is something bothering her that she's not saying? Or is she generally confused and thinks the public is a good way to hash this stuff out?
I think I mean, I get the sense that she's confused.
That's what it seems like.
That she believes that the eradication of the Jews in the Holocaust was because of a certain belief that Jews held, rather than them being literally an inferior race of people.
Right, and just on Twitter all the time, they're saying to people like me and you, you're not even white. We're not even white, according to like Nazis.
Yeah, no. To any good solid white supremacist will have no issue telling you that Jews are a race.
How do you distinguish a good white supremacist from
solid?
Oh God, this is good. This is if I listen to podcasts, this is the kind of podcast I'd want to hear right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's terrible in a way because there still seems to be a little bit of her where she's going, look, I'm just saying, there's a little bit of a, I don't see it. Why, she should come up with more scenarios, and I'm being honest about this, where it's her and her Jewish friend are in a thing.
Yeah.
And people coming by and how they'd react.
All right.
I'm just saying this. If it was let's say there was a deli convention down the street and they walked by us, are they going to hate the black person or she could get more and more out of touch. It's a weird one. I do not envy anything. I mean, I do not there, but for the grace of God go I. And thank God I never have gotten to a level of being known where I could get myself in a lot of trouble.
Right.
I cut you off, though. I still want to know. I like to hear your take on what's the matter with. Well, it's not what's the matter with kids today, but how can you get yourself in a mess like this?
Well, put yourself on a TV show where your job is to have an opinion about everything.
That's it. Ding, 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 ding. She should have a longevity award.
Right.
I would have been out of there the first sarcastic, oh, no. I think the Holocaust was a good thing bit I did. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The first bit like that.
Right.
Jonathan Greenblatt has pointed out that maybe they should have a Jewish lady host come on during this time period. They haven't had a Jewish. I thought Joy Behar was Jewish.
The whole thing of The View is like a sort of corrupt enterprise, as far as I'm concerned.
I think you're absolutely right, but I want to hear why.
Well, because like even you were just sort of treating it like it's a real institution. Like they should have a Jewish, like it's the court or something. It's this fucking TV show that exists to have weekly to monthly controversies because of something that some dipshit on it said,
Right. They are part of the algorithm machine, right?
Yeah.
They kind of want to have need a person, first of all.
Yeah, the only relevance of that show is when one of their idiot hosts says something idiot-like. They're not all idiots. I don't mean to say it like that.
No, I know that. I know what you're saying. But those stick out.
I mean,
like
certainly what's her, McCain it was.
Oh, is she gone?
She's gone, yeah.
Oh, that's probably a good thing for everybody. She wasn't even fun to watch, really.
But it's like, the whole show is like this, like, roulette wheel of people hanging themselves occasionally, Well,
that's the thing. I used to talk about The View in the stand-up, and then I realized, though, that when you're out of the habit of getting up and putting The View on or whatever, it's not a necessary habit. It's not worth really talking about, and it's always going to depress you within about 15 minutes when you start watching it again.
Right. I mean, it's not much different than a podcast, let's be honest.
Right, but the other thing is I would listen to it a lot, or I would see it sometimes when I was traveling, because that made sense. I was traveling, you get up weird hours, you're watching The View, but I always would notice, like, if you try to do material about The View or material about a morning show, it's like really people generally who have jobs are not watching it.
Right.
Most people have jobs can avoid The View.
That's why that Burbank Farm commercial bit doesn't work. That doesn't travel all that well.
Oh, you think it's too local? You need a lawyer if you think that. You need a lawyer. You need a level. I need a aspirin. Who has a headache? This is the kind of thing, like you told me that when they're tossing out advertising ideas, that's the kind of thing, how it goes.
All right.
You need a level. You can kiss my ass. I
was just running it up the flagpole.
Have you worked with someone named Harrison? Not George.
I have worked with someone named Harrison. They were a PA.
Why don't I have okay.
They were a PA on a show I worked on.
Why do you say it so dismissively?
I'm just wondering if there's any. I'm trying to figure out why you ask.
Please, for the rest of the day, or no future show, ever say to me, "There's no there." I mean, you can say that, make that point, but please don't do it.
I'll find another way to say it.
Oh, you know what they say about my comedy? If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. You probably still won't like it. Wait another 5 minutes, and then just stop listening to it. Don't do a podcast with that voice. Oh, I had another thing I was listening today, and
wow, you just came like prepped with material today.
Yeah, I did. I wrote some notes down.
I like it.
So anyway,
or at least stuff that could eventually be material.
Right. If I bring it up during this part of the show 4 or 5 more times,
right?
And you write the jokes,
sure.
But the following I can't get up. Now I know that maybe this has been covered before, but there seems to be a prolonged moaning now.
Yeah.
Like the commercial's not even about getting immediate help. The commercial is with the lady, I'm still here, I'm on the floor.
Yeah, it's kind of treating the old woman on the floor like the dogs in the Humane Society commercials, kind of.
Ah. There are many types of falling and I can't get up. You can get, oh no.
But yeah, no, they added more reverb, to make it really feel like she's alone.
Is it because those commercials were coming in at a budget of over $300 of below the line paying, not counting the voice actor of the.
It's celebrating over 30 years as a hack premise now, though.
I should write more everything must go style jokes.
Yeah.
Have you heard this Cal Worthington? What's up with him?
I need a better car. You need a level.
There's something, I don't even want to say it's smug about the Burbank firm and their marketing.
Yeah.
But it's as Howard, whatever that guy's name is, Trustman? That's not his name.
Right.
Howard Feynman would say. Howard Feynman. It's too cute by half. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, but there is a thought that it's like if you're going for a demographic in Burbank,
right.
like bad actors isn't a bad one to go for.
Oh, every time if I was dying or in a prison, I could still get a little chuckle from myself thinking of the way the kid looks like he shot out of a gun at the beginning of that commercial.
We won!
What does he say?
We won!
Good game? How could you tell?
Why are you, as a child or any age, yelling that long after the game? Because you're seeing is that his grandmother or is that
that's mom.
Get out of here. Then who is the very, very old man?
That's the head of the second family.
Every time I think of that guy, what world is he from? He's like from our town. He's polishing an apple. Well. Are you sure? You know what? You are the cheapest man in the world. Why does she even have to be at your stupid Burbank firm? Why are you wasting her time if it's so great?
I feel like you veered away from the prepared material now.
I'm asking though, for real now. Why would two people why would there even, can't you do it by Zoom now? I've scheduled an in-person meeting. Hey, Josh, you want to try out that new hookah lounge I was telling you about? No, not right now. What? It's between variants. I bet you $20 that you have never put your mouth on a hookah.
I have put my mouth on a hookah, but not at a hookah bar.
Well, then it kind of doesn't. It does count though. It's still disgusting. I don't mean to put down a whole culture. That's not the joke. The joke is communicable germs.
My brother had a hookah in college.
Wow. This is very much of a shock to me. I didn't know anybody.
That was named Ed Meese.
This sounds like a sitcom almost. It's pretty funny. I should say, it is funny, unlike a sitcom.
But it wasn't like, there was nothing ornate or Middle Eastern about his. It was very much more like lab equipment.
Oh, I see. Right.
It was like a big round bowl with a rubber stopper in it, and then a stem with hoses that came off of that.
So the idea was to really get the feeling of what smoking that way is like.
I guess so. I mean, it was just another way to smoke pot.
Oh, you didn't use it to smoke whatever the hell they smoke in the places.
No, it was just pot.
Oh, that's better. Okay, now it's a whole different story to me.
Yeah.
Now I don't even think it's a story that involves a hookah. You got two Jews.
4, actually, in this case.
Well, who were the 4?
I don't really want to implicate others.
But they were all Jews?
Yeah, sure. No,
oh
actually,
God.
they weren't. They were not.
Right. I could tell by the way you said that wouldn't stand up in court.
No.
I tried to stand up in court once, and I needed talcum powder.
And if it was less than, if there, if only 2 people were hitting it, then you'd have to cover the other 2 hoses with your thumb.
Is that the way it works? It sounds like a terrible device. Terrible contraption.
It's, it's no worse than a bong or whatever.
I dropped my, I'm telling you, I'm proud to say I haven't had a bong style pipe since college.
Yeah.
Or no, I think maybe I had one in LA.
I've had bongs.
I think I believed in it for a long time.
It's never been my favorite delivery system.
When I learned to smoke pot, most of it was smoked in a bong type thing where you would suck the thing into the water. And as a Jewish person, not to stereotype myself, I always, from early on, was like, well, what about all that unsmoked pot?
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying I dug into the bong water, but, and I don't even say I have a point. So, just want to wrap it up.
It was, you were on the anti-bong side of the.
Yes. I like to see I like to see what I'm smoking. And I don't buy that. It's like, what's another example of that? Where it's like you think you're soothing yourself, but you're just adding menthol.
I don't think there's a word for that.
We can say grift because that's the new, grift is the new, do you ever get tired right in the middle of one of your, I'm not saying I'm doing a bit, but just my attempt at podcast conversation.
I don't get tired. I don't get tired in the middle of mine so much.
Hey, can you say, I'm going to say unpack that more.
Okay.
Can we unpack this?
Sure.
I've decided, is it metaphors I hate, or is it just metaphors about subjects that don't need to be metaphored? Let's talk about this. Why are we unpacking it? All right. Today we're arguing about cheese, from Wisconsin, okay, let's talk about this. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. In fact, it might even be unnecessary. You might just want to start talking about it.
Yeah. Forget the names.
All right.
Of the forget the chapter headings.
Yeah. I need to sort out your issues with this.
Is this like when you say sort out, that reminds me of that Jordan Peterson.
No, it was just another way of saying unpack.
Oh. Well, let's stick this in beakers and experiment it.
Let's fractionally distill this.
Yeah. Yes, let's cold brew this. Let's talk about this. Both of us climb into a refrigerator for 24 hours and cold brew it. Never let it be said, Josh. I used to think in the old days that the fact that I was coming out with a lot of stuff was good.
Right.
Not some. I don't see it anymore. Okay, can you read the next letter at least?
Sure. Dear Andy, I'm pleased to inform you that you've made the Jimmy O's Man of the Year shortlist.
Come on. That's all the joke I will ever need the rest of my life. Hey, I made the short list. Hey. Or that sounds like a good character in a sitcom to be saying to me, but then it wouldn't be funny. But it is funny in real life. Hey, you're on the short list. Aunt Jimmy O's short list.
Yep.
Jimmy O's would like to thank our vertically challenged winners.
Yep. You rephrased it 5 ways now.
Hey, you said give you a couple of choices, right?
Right. It's like Gary Shandling is running this joke.
All of a sudden, I love that scene though with Ricky Gervais where he puts Ricky Gervais down.
Oh, the interview at his house.
It's just so fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just so fantastic. And the more you see it in retrospect of like where Ricky Gervais, nobody thinks he's a great guy really that much anymore.
Yeah.
That you feel bad about or you're rooting for.
No, the almost allergic reaction that Shandling was having to his smugness was precious. And
calling him out just like what he was doing, using, like Judd said, he was using a tactic that was he was very good at.
Yeah.
Turning the thing back on the person. Oh, really? What are you saying? Why aren't you being real? All that kind of stuff. Oh, it's just so. And now recently Gervais, this guy can't stop. I'm not saying we should talk about him, but his new thing is he's going to come out with a show to get himself canceled.
Right.
Is that a bit?
Well, it's, pretty typical. I mean, it's like, it was the article I read was that he's thinking of retiring. So he's going to do a stand-up show that gets himself canceled.
Oh, well, that would be, if what you were saying was true,
right? That
would be so good. But he's not retiring. To what?
Well, he's probably put away a nice, package of pounds.
Can you do me a favor and watch, or unless you have done it, watch or find someone who watched Afterlife? I'm not going to watch it, but I just want to know. There's a part of me who doesn't. Part of me says if it's good, why would I be upset about it? But part of me doubts that it's good.
Right.
Because he's such a cliche.
Yeah, I haven't really kept pace with him because I stopped liking him in general. Mm-hmm. But certainly all of his best moments are in shows he's on.
That's a good point. Sounds like you're running for something. I demand that Josh comes out.
I just think he's such a douche, but I also think he's got a comedy wheelhouse,
Oh, he does. I mean, that'd be the last person to say that he's a talentless fuck.
As a stand-up, he kind of is, but
he is talentless as a stand-up. Yeah. He's an insult to stand-up.
He's kind of
I don't want to get that upset about it.
He's kind of a literal insult to stand-up, like when he did that stand-up round table show.
Oh my God! Why wouldn't you do? How do you know someone is narcissistic? They don't turn that down, knowing they have nothing to say about it. He has nothing to say on the topic of people who have been around comedy for a while comparing notes.
I don't think he turned. I think it was generated by him.
I think
he invited those other guys to be there, with these sort of underlying, as you would call it, understory that they're his peers.
Yeah. And I think that we can definitely say that Ricky Gervais popularized laughing in a contrived way that makes you want to punch yourself in the stomach.
I don't know. I think Dudley Moore did it before him.
Yeah, but let's not bring Dudley Moore into the Ricky Gervais, because Dudley Moore is a beloved figure, and et cetera, and so on. I'm ending with everything this year. Is it 2022 yet? Because if it is, I'm ending everything with et cetera, and so on.
Yeah.
If you were ever at a meeting with me and you were trying to disguise that you weren't going to pick up the thing, you need to be more devious and more, superficially kind.
I would do a lot of holding up my hand in your direction and then pointing on the other side of it at you.
Still, I claim to be an effective argument tool.
You're an argument tool, all right.
Ah. All right. I'm starting to fade. I'm not saying we end the conversation, but I think I need to shake it off or something. I've gone down a highway where, dynamics is one thing. Not trying to make everything sound yelly is another thing.
Yeah.
But when you start to number things, whether it's in speech or in a conversation, you always end up with the fact that the last example is not going to be a correct premise. So I should stop it.
Yeah.
I should stop it for 3 reasons. A, and we'll be back with the oldest comedian in the history of the world. Boy, am I tired. Why are you tired? I had one of those sleep beds. Okay. All right. I'm okay.
Every once in a while, you're like, wow, his tone is promising something that is probably not going to deliver.
Hey, I wish I had $1 for every time I had said that. Hey, don't make checks that your face can't cancel.
If you could charge a lack of delivery fee.
I think I should be penalized, actually, right? For overusing the delivery system with nothing. A lot of times I'll get those, where the mail thing says the notification didn't go. They'll say that it didn't go because it wasn't funny enough.
Yeah. Mail not sent, Groucho.
Don't you feel good about yourself that you were able to nip an annoying recurring character? It's like you were around when Larry the Cable Guy, right before he decided to ruin everyone's life.
I did. I killed Email Andy.
Andy, would you answer some of these questions? Sure, Jess. I mean, I haven't. I remember that thing I did in England, but it took a long time. It took me 3 or 4 hours, but I assume everyone loved it. It was just so good. Could you imagine if I went a couple more years doing those?
I can't
imagine. I can't imagine ever doing it again. But then I can't imagine it applying to anything.
Yeah.
Why would someone need me to answer questions?
Right. If there's no date to promote.
You think people are gonna? It's how's everybody's pandemic doing? As you know, we check on people during the pandemic that were worried about or concerned. We'll be checking with Andy Kindler today. You may remember him. He was a recurring character on Everybody Loves Me. Andy, are you still alive out there?
As long as my brother is.
What does that mean, Andy? You're saying your brother is. What does that mean, Andy?
I've got a benefactor.
All right, now. All right, so, wait. Hold on a second. I have to do a station ID. 65. So where is downtown Kansas City? I've got Andy Kindler on the line. Andy, what's coming up for Andy Kindler?
I'm going to talk about Medicare commercials to no one in particular.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm on the radio. I'm looking for a radio. This is a album-oriented radio station. Adult, what do they call them? Adult contemporary?
Sure.
And that's an example, folks, out there of you people, of why Josh and I have been around so long and been so unknown. We go into the classic Ken and Bob style riffs.
Right.
We are ourselves. This isn't about shtick.
We're like Bob and Ray Charles.
I apologize for that even that chuckle there.
Really?
I
should have been cut off.
No, that would be wrong. That would be rude. In your hands, a Ray Charles reference. You are like a chef making a fine pie. Why would a chef make a fine pie? Okay.
I don't know, but coming from the guy who launched into his "I have fallen and I can't get up" chunk, I don't really take it with
That's
much
true.
more than
I
a grain
have
of
nothing
salt.
to say I have nothing to say when I'm still doing I can't believe they ate the whole thing bits.
Right.
But where is the beef in this show? Don't hang up yet.
Still newer than Plop Plop Fizz Fizz, mind you.
Yeah, what is that? What's up with this? What's up with that? Hey, Andy, why don't you, would be nice next time you have a podcast, talk about things that bothered you in 40-year-old commercials.
Yes.
Andy, this is your conscience speaking.
Hey, that meatball, is it spicy?
I can't believe I ate the whole thing. I should have asked if it was spicy. You know when they say hook, line, and sinker?
Yeah.
I really get it now.
Yeah, because you went fishing?
No, it's not so much that I was making I don't think people get that the metaphysical side of my act. You know what I mean? I'm not, or the deconstructionist side, or the fill in the other thing you say to throw people off from the fact that you're deadly dull. I'm kidding about that, Josh.
Yeah,
I know that I'm interesting. Let's not kid ourselves.
All right, sure.
We'll be right back with Let's Not Kid Ourselves.
People are scared of it.
They're scared of it.
Yep. That's how.
I'm not scared of it. In fact, I want something even hotter than you can get down here at Grand Central Market. I'm leaving all these wimps, all these wimpy chili peppers behind. We're going in search of a hot chili pepper, and I know where to go find that, and it's not anywhere near Grand Central Market. In fact, it's in a friend of mine's backyard. Here we go.
You say we're good, but we might not be. Okay.
No, we're actually good.
You mean, are you talking about performance-wise, or are you talking about the quality?
Well, that I can't
sound?
speak to, but I don't think it bodes well.
Well, you wait a second now. The other day, you said it bodes well.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that if I didn't know you, that you might be, that could be taken like a negative comment. Like he used to be at Intelligentsia, now he's at Schmeckel's coffee plant.
No, I did. I meant when I said that bodes well, I meant it.
So that just shows you if you want to do a little Rorschach.
Meaning he came from a place that I respect.
Yes.
Therefore,
yes.
there's a good shot that I'll respect his
Right.
his current philosophy.
Exactly. But that's the Rorschach.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, certainly it's possible that he turned his back on everything that Intelligentsia Coffee stands for. And that's why he left.
It's so dramatic.
But that wasn't what I meant.
Yes. So that just shows you it's a Rorschach. I'm going to not stop saying that now. It's a Rorschach test into how I take things negatively.
Yes.
And you have said to me often that, you know, your experience with me is I'm always looking at the bright side.
Right.
I tend to not take things personally.
Right.
I like to see, you know, what I like to say.
Never too high, never too low. That's Andy Kindler.
That's right. Never too high, never too low. And that's right. And that's what I tell people. I tell people that I haven't read any of the Stoic people, but but that's how I would term myself, is Stoic.
Yeah. Middle path all the way.
Middle path. Don't get too hot. Don't get too cold. What is it? Don't get too hard. Don't get too soft. Oh. Don't say it. I don't even need the voice to back
I wasn't
it up.
going there.
Hey, wait, go. Here's how he sounds. You ready?
Sure.
I don't know why your penis doesn't work. Oh, your penis is so terrible. Oh, that's the voice of my penis? That's not the way my penis sounds. Ba-ba-boo, boop-ba-boo, boop-ba-boo. I'm doing more horn shofar. I'm more of a shofar sting, if you could get one for me.
I just wish you'd come to rehearsal.
I'm just going to say to you that I hope that you didn't think of that line too much in advance.
Really? That's what you want to say to me?
Well, because I want to insult that impression. Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to make you feel less than, so that impression gets lost, and that my penis sounds more like this. Here I am to save the day.
Don't worry, I already feel less than.
You know what? No matter how you slice this bit, it always comes up embarrassing for me.
His penis doesn't work.
That's not true. My doctor has told me that he is going to. I told you this is completely serious.
Yeah.
He is going to install an erection device. You've heard of them, right?
Yeah. It's one of the low end ones. It's just a little eyelet he screws in that you attach to a string.
So you're saying that's how they save money on it? I didn't even know that it came into. First of all, I don't want anything attached to my penis that people go, have you slept with him? It's like sleeping with a Rube Goldberg contraption.
Sure.
And then someone once told me, no. It's just like sleeping with Rube Goldberg. Old.
All right. Yeah.
Thanks for helping.
Inventive.
Hey, I'm wrong because I bring up a name like Rube Goldberg. I not only bring up, they say don't go Jewish. I bring up an obscure Jewish name.
Right.
I don't think that should be
I just
obscure.
saw somebody, I don't know where this is just one of those, this passed through my consciousness in the last week or so, but there was an argument about whether Rube, it's worth using Rube Goldberg as a reference anymore.
Well, I would think that at some point it's going to be very similar to,
someone said it and someone else said Rube Goldberg kind of a thing.
Well,
and you shouldn't be smoking pot this early in the day.
No, what I did was I fucked up. I said to myself, maybe a little bit of this, just a little vape, just to relax, and no one will ever know. And here's what happens when you do the vape. You ready?
Yeah, sure. Do it again.
I'm telling you, Susan, he has no idea. Sometimes during the show, just to calm myself, I'll take a hit of. You know what the problem is, Josh? I can't get high on these. So what I thought was, what if I was stone cold sober? Cup of coffee, excited about the podcast.
Yeah.
Would that kick it off? Why does it make you cough? And why is it popular if it both makes you cough and doesn't get you high?
I don't know. Why do you keep buying it after 5 years?
I don't know. You know why? This one they said was solventless.
Ah.
I thought that meant less coughing.
No.
So here's what my prediction is, that all the people who are vaping are going to end up dead. There's something wrong with vaping.
I hope that's not true.
No, because you vape. That's
I
right,
vape
sorry.
nicotine, sadly.
Yeah, but no, you don't have a crazy delivery system, I don't think. I have a guy named Eddie who brings
Who
over.
blows it into my mouth?
I forgot who had the problems. Was it Jewel who specifically had the problems? No, it was illegal people selling bootleg vapes.
It seemed to be that the unregulated vape market was the cause of that that little mini epidemic of problems.
Well, I listened to a podcast about the whole vaping thing, and that they didn't see how it could be trouble, that people would get into the vaping and it'd be worse. You know, with some of the things.
Yeah.
Some of the things, but in some of the ways, it's absolutely, I would use it as a delivery system if I didn't have a guy named Phil.
Well, all I can say is I went from smoking too much to vaping too much eventually, and I feel a lot better vaping too much than I did smoking too much.
That's like when Gary Goldman talks about, he's severely depressed, and people talk, oh, aren't you worried about the side effects? No, I can take a little dry mouth more than suicidal thoughts. You know,
Right.
I'm going to blow my nose, but don't you be concerned.
Okay.
Okay. That will never happen again. I put this over on the side.
Next time I'll be concerned.
Next time, yeah, you should be concerned, because what would be the point? It's like I consider myself, and again, I have a problem with intelligence, but I consider myself fairly stupid when it comes to pulling off stunts or or fooling people.
All right.
So what was I thinking going in? Every time I've vaped, I cough every time.
All right.
So I thought I would just take a little bit. Let me try again. Okay, that worked. You know what worked? Stupid idiot. You know what I hate too? Didn't you do things when you were a kid like that you wanted to get away with? Like I would drop, I did stupid things like drop acid before day camp, but
You what?
I dropped acid before. It's a long story, but I'm not saying that I did something wrong. I'm just saying I went to the top of the Empire State Building while I was on heroin. Not heroin. I think Sarah took heroin. It was called mescaline. Do you remember? Did you ever take stuff they called mescaline? Who the hell knew what it was?
No.
Probably some kind of. I hate when you can't commiserate with me.
I want to know what day camp was. Were you a counselor or a camper at this day camp?
If I was a camper, that would be fun. No, I was in charge of the kids.
Oh,
But
fantastic. Nice work. Nice work.
No, don't get upset.
Let's take them to the highest point in New York and get to the most irresponsible place I can get to.
I'm trying to think now. If it was the World Trade Center, I think it was the World Trade Center. Yeah. Well, I couldn't have known.
Yeah.
It's 19. When did I get out of day camp? I was in summer camp too for many, many years.
Yeah.
And then for a couple of years, I did this day camp thing.
Uh-huh.
And boy, was there a lot of weed.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to go too far into it because of my lawyer. Not seriously, but my lawyers told me not to. But so I'm kind of in charge of these kids, but there's another person who's in charge of them who's not on LSD.
Oh, that's good. He was on parole. He was on parole.
She Liz.
Yes.
I dated her for a brief period of time. Not that day. That day I wasn't horny at all.
All right. Now you're clutching a pole at the top of a large skyscraper.
Okay, here's absolutely true. Is absolutely true is that I remember all of us going into some kind of elevator down at the bottom of the World Trade Center.
Some kind of elevator. All right.
Right. And then the next thing I remember, I'm on top of the World Trade Center. It's like, I come to, hey, how we doing? But what, they say you do things when you're younger and then they're stupid. But I think I took the cake sometimes.
Kind of, except for now you're 65 and still trying to sneak vapes.
It's safe. That's way safer than taking LSD. Here's what I did. I took LSD.
I understand, but the through line is inappropriate drug use.
Right. Yeah, but, okay, I thought the through line was putting others at risk. Which is not. So I think I've achieved a lot with that.
That's true. You're hurting fewer people now.
Because I was from the generation where we did drink and drive when I first started driving. I was 18.
Yeah.
And everyone drank and drive. And
sure, that makes it right.
No, it doesn't make it right. But I don't think there's nothing in my defense except I had literally no adult supervision ever to say, hey, be careful when you get a car because you're going to kill somebody with your fucking looking around. And the first day I got a driver's license, I locked the keys. I was 17 or something. I locked the keys in the car with the car on because I was so excited about it. I wanted to smoke and drive the first day.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that at least you were a rookie for the ultimate rookie move.
And yet, my sister had to come to Beechhurst Food Market, which is probably 10 blocks away. But when you're a kid, it's 3.5 miles.
You weren't a kid. You were 17 years old, Andy.
I just realized that that's not that young.
No.
I think I was a very young 17. I really do. I think I was lucky to be anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I think I was, first of all, maybe the worst driver that you've ever seen. And now smoking the first day.
Right.
Did you ever smoke and drive? Of course you did.
Oh, yeah.
Now that must have been hard to give up. That's fun to me.
Sure. It's fun.
I mean, in the perfect world where cigarette smoke was absolutely cool. Sure. That's what I'm hoping. What kind of we could put a man on the moon, etc., and so on. But it seems to be a very pleasant habit. You can't make that healthier. You can't make that habit make you live longer. I mean, come on, Josh.
Let's turn coffin nails into vitamin nails.
I never smoked enough, though, to get past the part where every cigarette still kind of was annoying to me.
Yeah, that's a good indication that it's not your habit.
No, it's not. I thank my opposite of John Belushi. What's it called?
Jim Belushi.
No, the opposite of John Belushi, who could do anything. He could eat a truck full of this and then go up and do it, and then do the comedy.
Yeah.
I could never do that. I was always knocked down. I was never like a good partier that way.
Right. Not a trooper. Not a super trooper.
Well, no, but I mean, that's my theory about someone like Belushi was that if he had a more sensitive constitution, he would have had to have faced it earlier. I don't know. Why do I have such what is that called? A naive view of what drug use is like?
Well, it's a weird blend of both naivete and know-it-allism.
Yeah, it's an uneasy mix.
Yes.
I know we've talked about this before, but the Belushi thing, I know affected you, but it really affected me. Like I was almost obsessed with hearing about the case and just the whole idea, like that Belushi could be alive today type of thing is always never. It's just, I think maybe it was a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I never bought into that idiot, the Wired guy, the idiot from Watergate.
Woodward.
Yeah. But I was I felt like it was a classic case of, what do you call that? The most depressing thing that could happen? Someone who has all these opportunities and seems to be having fun. too. He seemed to be.
Yeah.
And so there, but for the grace of God go I type of thing. Thank God I never had money and drugs at the same time.
Right.
Or the desire at the same time.
Well, I don't think it's money and drugs aren't the thing. You know, I don't think you didn't kill yourself because you couldn't afford to.
No, you're right, but I think I would have dealt more.
But I mean, I don't know. I just watched that Belushi doc again.
Which one?
Belushi, it's called.
Is it a fairly new one?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I think it's Showtime.
Oh, is it worth watching?
Well, yeah, clearly for you it is because, you know, you're into it.
Well, no, I was into it then.
Yeah.
I was into it when he died because I would compare everything to my own life. So when he died, and John Lennon died, it was like, oh, this is very depressing. And I have nothing going on in my life. You know what I mean? Double whammy.
You know, it doesn't make Belushi more of a hero because it's not a heroic story, you know?
No, it's not a heroic story, but it doesn't make him more of a villain. It just makes him like
No, it doesn't make him a villain at all. It just makes him a victim of himself, kind of, you know?
Yes.
It was, you know, he was a victim of both addiction and showbiz syndrome, you know?
And I've been subject to both of those things. I've been subject to where, I don't know, like I thought a couple of times in the 80s I could have died from, and I didn't do a lot of coke, but I did maybe like a gram over a night or something. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
So I do feel like I can't say to myself, well, you got out of that. You did adolescence and teenage years like a champ.
Yeah.
You grow into yourself. And, no, I can't say that, but I don't know that.
But the fortunate thing is there's absolutely no need in the world to go back and grade yourself.
Oh, that's one of my things, all right?
It's just not worth it.
No, but you know what? I'll stop it right now because what I'm doing now, which must be uncomfortable on the receiving end of it, is that I'm now trying to convince you that, I'm not a monster.
Oh, that's,
and I spent a lot of my life doing that.
Well, let me just say that ship has sailed.
It's so interesting. You know, it's like, I think about one of the worst moments of my life was before my sister and my mother died. And I went back to, sorry for doing that. I should not clear my throat into the mic. But when I went back east, because I was thinking about it the other day, it was like, I was in this fight with this, I always forget his name, Mehdi Hassan. And I was, and I just realized now that I guess if it was a scary thing what I was doing, that if I thought about it, I wouldn't have done it. You know, if I knew going in, if I, you know, in 2 days you could die from this trip to New York, you know,
yeah.
I probably wouldn't have gone, but it's like, I think about it and it's just so, the whole thing is so surreal to me.
What aspect of it?
Well, that I went there, that I was having that problem that I've had my whole life, which is, you know, not understanding the difference between the global and the micro and,
right.
You know, getting into fights with people online. And, you know, it was like when I went to see my mother and my sister, it was right when they hadn't chosen Biden yet. Or I don't even remember if I'm right about this. I think it was during the campaign. So when I have a guy like Mehdi Hassan, I was still like, and still to this day.
I remember you calling me in near panic attack mode.
Oh, well, I think you saved my life there.
Well,
I mean, I'm not saying I would have killed myself.
I wasn't bringing it up for that, but.
What's that?
I said I wasn't bringing it up to hear that, but say.
Oh, no, well, I'm not suicidal. I've never been suicidal.
Yeah.
But I never felt worse than I felt in that moment. I felt like, because also I thought everything got to me. I must have gotten COVID on the plane, you know. It's
right.
like as I was in New York was when everything got extremely crazy. And the day I flew back was the day that they stopped flying. I mean, that's the day they made that everyone stopped flying. And then my sister died the next day. So it was like, the interesting thing to me is that I going through the same things in my life, like that were similar to that, but never to that degree anymore. And of course, just as you say, don't go back in your life and criticize things. I really have a terrible habit of thinking back to that and, go, oh, I hope that doesn't happen again, or or I hope I'm good again. Again, that's that. If you grew up with such a strong view of you were good and bad by your behavior during the day, it's like I never grew up not having that, so I don't know what that's like to not be questioning your self-worth every second. I mean, I don't do it now, but back then.
No, but I think I think a lot. Certainly there's one issue, which is judging your life on a moment-to-moment snapshot basis, which is never that great.
No,
it's not the middle pathway. But then there's also just this. It's hard enough to do how am I doing right now to not go, how did I do in 1972?
Yeah. Or that particular thing. I guess you go from, I'm at the top of the World Trade Center on mescaline or whatever the hell it was. So that was something I could have avoided.
Right. Yeah.
to cut to this thing with, I fly back and I'm worried about getting a deadly disease while being in the middle of a classic fight that, do you think I was aware? Oh, you know what? It's so weird to me.
I mean, it all came down. What I remember very vividly from that conversation, which is otherwise sort of impressionistic in my head, is just assuring you with great conviction you're not a terrible person.
And that was not an easy task.
Well, at that time, it wasn't hard. I wasn't trying,
No, it wasn't an easy task.
It wasn't not easy to. No, Yes, it was hard to convince you, but it wasn't hard to say it with conviction. Is my point.
Well, no, I mean because you were very loving, but I remember because you remember where you are when something horrible happens. So I remember where I was up on the third floor, and I just couldn't get my arms around the fact that this guy. I had said something about this guy, and so people were still talking about it online. It's ridiculous. Everything came around. Everything came around in that moment. But holy moly, I don't know why I've been thinking a lot about my mom and my sister, and
well, it's that time of year.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't want to say I'm looking forward to grieving, but I'm looking forward to, grieve. I guess I am looking. I feel myself grieving more for my sister, and my mom.
Yeah.
But when you have that thing that's so deeply embedded in you to question yourself. I still have to relearn that lesson over and over, which is stop analyzing, because it's the only part of the disease you can have control of.
Right.
Is stopping the things that you're doing in the moment.
Right.
And I'm fairly good at it. Stopping it.
Right.
Because they all seem so ridiculous to me. They all seem like it's like crazy things I'm worried about in the moment. So sometimes I can separate them fast.
Right.
Like every time I think about God, I think about Julia Sweeney. Every single time.
That's really weird.
Every time.
Yeah.
And that somehow she really knows whether there's a God or not.
Yeah.
And so most of my life was spent arguing with whether Julia Sweeney knew whether there was a God or not. Now I have to let go of having her be the person on the pedestal in my head.
Yeah.
Which I have.
Let me just break in here and say, if this is your first time listening to the show, I'm sorry. You might
no, that was good. No, I thought that made me laugh. I thought that was a natural progression. You have to go. I didn't expect to go back to this moment. I mean, there's been many moments where I went, I wish I could recreate one of those catharsis things now on the show. But I really do it's just pretty amazing. Like the same thing is the solution all the time. It's just like you have to come back to the moment and try to experience things right now.
Yeah.
And I'm good. I'm pretty good at that. But what I'm not good at is this. Is I think what you're saying, which is this part of the disease is the constant weighing of every event.
Yeah, or replaying of every event.
Replaying of every event.
It feels like you're going looking for it.
That could be true. That could be true. I'm ready to transition, though. I have my phone, whatever you want to do. I'm ready to go.
Well, I have a jingle, so boom.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Oh my God, I think we have a lot of questions. Pickles says, Merry belated Christmas, even though it's Christmas as I write.
And in fact,
am I doing the wrong question?
In fact, they did write it on December 25th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time ago. What's with the holiday themed pornography? This is not a peanut butter and chocolate situation. Pickles must have gone to a Maury Amsterdam class. Two great tastes that do not go great together. Pause for laugh.
Yeah, see, he put the laugh in the wrong place, apparently, but other than that.
I haven't seen any holiday-themed pornography.
No, either have I. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I really don't know what you're talking about. You're saying it like everyone has a thing where they a Santa with a big cock comes down the chimney, and everyone loves it?
Sure, that's what I'm saying, yes.
Oh, fuck me like the Grinch.
No, you know, the modern pornography scene is a disturbing snapshot of our society in many ways.
Well, give me an example without sickening me of what holiday-themed pornography would look like.
I pretty much think it's just fucking in a Santa hat, but I don't know. It's not, even if I was well versed in porn, that's not one that I would go down. That's not a chimney I would go down, probably.
I love the whole idea that they're not even addressing the holiday directly, but they're just festively fucking with Christmas.
I think, I actually respect a certain amount of topicality.
I haven't watched porno in forever, maybe.
Seems like it.
I say it like it's like reading on vacation. I haven't done that in a while.
Same.
Really need to look back into that.
Maybe I'll set some time aside today.
No, because the last time it was maybe On Golden Blonde was out.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
That's a long time ago.
Ooh.
That's an actual name of a title when I worked in the video store.
Yeah. You had a Seika poster on your wall.
A who?
Seika, wasn't she?
I don't know. Is that a game?
She was like a blonde, Swedishy sort of porn queen when I was a teenager.
Is it Seka?
Seka, yeah.
Seika. Were you attracted to Seika?
She wasn't my type necessarily, but she was a big name.
Was she real though, or was she a hologram?
She was real. In fact, my brother met her in Chicago. She lived in an apartment building of a friend of his.
These are things in life that you can never duplicate. You can never go. I never could have predicted that I would see Seika in Chicago.
Right. Mike Parrish. I'm sorry, you had more.
I'm sorry, but this is another example of something that happened after my time.
Seika?
Yeah.
Or Seika, whatever it was?
Yeah. Sorry, you're on.
I rarely heard it spoken. I would see it in print.
Right. Is this the Parrish from the Boston Celtics?
No, that'd be Robert Parrish.
Okay, I got confused.
Mike Parrish, not of the Boston Celtics, says one summer night when I was a kid, my pug was run over by the turkey in the straw truck. I had to get over it quickly because my friends all laughed when I told the story, just like Andy just did. It was the good humor truck after all. Have you ever lost a pet in a strange or sudden way?
I've only had two pets, so I had a pet. Opsy, and he died of old age, and George died of old age.
I think you just told yourself it was from old age.
Are you telling me? Don't plant an idea that I stepped on the cat and killed them, and then they've protected me from that story.
I won't tell you that.
Okay, good.
That's in a sealed envelope somewhere. Yeah, no, I mean, I've never had, in a sudden way, goldfish, you can't ever predict it.
No. I always consider them as not part. I mean, I didn't remember having one.
My hamster had an untimely death, I felt, but I don't know if it was actually untimely.
But I don't, yeah, exactly. I've also killed, did I tell you that? I don't know, why am I telling you this? But I got these little birds. Like, what are they when they're like 1 day old and they look the size of a...
Chicks?
Yes. So I said to myself, do you think I can feed them a slug? And I fed them a slug and they were both dead the next time I went back to the box.
Yeah, well, live and learn. It's just a hobby.
Stephen Elton Yates says he has a beautiful, it almost looks like Courier and Ives shot.
Uh-huh.
It's so beautiful, his shot of a winter wonderland. He says, looks pretty, doesn't it? Don't be fooled. It's a dangerous blizzard. It's been labeled Winter Storm Bobby. Is that
Bobby.
Now we go for a weather report to one of Hitler's best friends.
Bobby.
Take it away. Is that the name of the Winter Storm Watch?
Yes.
Bobby.
Yes.
All right. I think we covered it.
Warpsier Head says, not trying to be that guy, but I'll forget if I don't ask now. What's the status of the Cancel My Quinceanera t-shirts, mugs, matchbooks, etc.?
I would like a Cancel My Quinceanera. But I don't know. Is the idea that after a while you don't want to make shirts?
That's kind of been my thing on it.
Yeah.
But if you like the Thought Spiral apparel and other swag, go to Zazzle.com/thought_spiral.
And it's updated every week.
The portion that goes to us goes to Alex, our producer.
I don't know why I'm laughing about and not laughing at Alex. I'm laughing at something else separate from the show.
Ah, that's good.
Diamond Rhodes. Oh, I love this. Diamond Rhodes, longtime listener, first-time tweeter. Seriously, I joined Twitter to say I love the show and look forward to it every Monday. Maybe I can think up a question for next week. Cheers. Welcome to our world, Diamond Rhodes.
That's right. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, and don't try and scare him off yet, Josh.
I won't. All
right.
I'm here to accept the praise of Diamond Rhodes. I appreciate it.
I love those names. Dusty Rhodes was also a great name.
Sure.
Also Dusty Springfield.
Yes, also good.
No.
A.D. Morgan says, all good letters are based in truth. Thank you, Andy, for calling me funny, though calling me a liar just beforehand took the edge off a bit.
Why can't I just compliment people?
And this was he was talking about Houdini's dog last week, and whose name is Bobby. So that's why he said maybe Gregory Peck will remember his name, I think.
Do you ever get people who want Gregory Peck to have a fight with James Mason?
I think we had. Well, that was where they both really came from. We're shutting down the program, Mengele. We will not shut down my program. We're shutting it down right now. I will not have my program scuttled by some insolent Jew. This is coming from the head office, Mengele. There's nothing I can do.
You know what? It's only bad when you use when he said the way he says Jew. Otherwise, you could take it like he doesn't have a problem with the Jews.
Well, yes, you hear doctor, and right away you have the gravitas.
Oh, should I do the second A.D. Morgan question? How about that?
Sure.
A.D. Morgan, got an idea for increasing Andy's cameo sales. What if he offered intros for up-and-coming comics. A recording of him saying, "Hi, it's Andy Kindler, and I'm excited to introduce you to a really funny guy, my good friend Jackie Gooberton. Please clap, folks. $35 a pop." You know, I want to say to A.D. Morgan, thank you for writing out the copy.
Yeah. I think this should double your cameo sales for the week.
I would never think a comic named Jackie Gooberton could be funny.
Yeah, and here it is. Here you are, proved wrong.
Right. Don't blame A.D. Morgan for my read.
What? How is the cameo business these days?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I'm trying to advertise more for it.
Yeah.
Yesterday, someone said, I had a thing with somebody where they went, something about, we were talking about Jon Stewart, and he says, guy goes, "Oh yeah, like you doing your cameo, like, oh, I'm sorry he doesn't make a living doing your honest cameo work." It was like, that got to me. It's like, is it dishonest? Really? Is it a bait and switch of some kind?
No. It's,
I'm not getting you to argue the other side of this, but it's like a snake. What is it when I have a snake in my own area? What is that called? That was good. That was good. I like our show. Hold on a second, Josh. Hold on. Let me try it one more time. Because I think it could be a running bit on the show. It could be just great.
Jason, will Andy see my last name Parton? Says, how about this for a change? You two ask us some questions for a change. We've been working hard enough lately.
I can't do it without coughing, Josh.
I know.
You're
the worst.
Why would you think you could sneak something that you always cough?
I don't know. That you've been busted on this within the last hour.
That's right. That's right. I'm still coming over it.
What it really does is make me think I don't have any authority over you anymore.
Well, you do have some. What is it called when you have some? You have agency. Did you want to ask any questions?
I really don't.
Okay.
I'm not that curious. That's the answer.
True. That is the answer. M. Ledsam, the great M. Ledsam says, is it still technically a question if I don't actually have a question? Is there a different section for that? Behind a paywall, perhaps? Much love as ever, chaps. I think she's the British version of me sometimes.
I think there's nicer things to say about her.
But I don't think that was, what you just said was uncalled for, and I mean it literally. I didn't ask for it.
That's true. Tripahara says,
I can't do the song today.
I know.
I don't even know if I'm doing a song.
Stoned.
I just took a little vape BB.
It doesn't work at all. La, 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 la.
Why do people do it?
Why if it's not going to work? Why buy?
I'm hungry, Joshy. Joshy, I want some candy corn. I'm good at this podcast.
Tripahara says, Andy, come to Moon Tower. If you get COVID, you'll get a chance to die on stage. I mean, literally, not your usual way. Boom. Hashtag park your carcass.
I think it's good to now, since my name has been pulled off the thing, I won't be coming to Moon Tower this year. I've already pulled out of it.
Yeah. They scraped it off with a razor blade.
What, me off the program?
Yes.
Is that an old show business reference that I don't get?
No, it's just the trying to give the visual of taking your name off something as if it was taking your name off an office door in a 30s movie.
And they're putting I love those scenes in the black and white movies where they're putting a new thing up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to evoke.
And it actually will cover for plot points. We know someone's leaving and we know someone new is coming in because they just took the old sign off the door.
That's right.
Maybe we should do a podcast of, those crazy movie things. Don't Call Me Whoopsie says, one of my favorite things to do is go on Facebook and belittle far-right idiots until they start cursing at me. Then I report them and get them suspended, and I do a little dance. On a scale of Lori to Richard, how petty is this? I love it.
I'd put it at a Tom.
I love it. I really do love it because I think any time that you know what you're doing and you're doing it to unpleasant people who deserve it,
Yeah.
and it doesn't get you involved emotionally, I think it's a winner. Although I would never go to the point of trying to get people suspended.
Well, that's kind of the thing, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess depending on when, if there's a lot of Nazis online, so I'm certainly not going to feel.
Yeah, sure, you can masturbate. But masturbating with, a garret around your neck that's what this is.
That's like a metaphor of some type. You're supposed to masturbate after putting the garret around your neck.
It's all.
I really don't know what a garret is.
Much like most comedy, it's all about timing with the autoerotic asphyxiation.
So a garret is just a fancy name for a belt?
No, it's a choking device, I would say.
Oh my God! Why did we get into these topics? What was a choking device? Trying to watch a couple of episodes of How I Met Your Mother.
Wow, nice pull for that one.
That's my go-to. For some reason, that sticks out in my mind as a horrible sitcom.
Okay.
Because it's neither here nor there.
Right. Well, a lot of your jokes could be updated just by scanning the programming grid.
I have to tell you that I do very little of the following things. I never use Siri. I don't like to hear my voice other than it's enough already with my voice.
Uh-huh.
And then I forgot the second thing that I don't do.
You don't do numbered lists.
No, I do them. I don't do them well. Although I will always do the joke A, B, and thirdly.
Sure. And it'll always work just as well.
Oh, Tweet Bahar is back to say, my wife and I have a friend named Rich Brotherton, and his name always makes me think of Andy's retirement plan. So Andy, why am I doing well? Because I have financial planners who work with me. I work with the Brotherton firm, My Rich Brotherton.
Yes.
Mike. Cunt. Why did I go with that one?
You didn't even try to put the H in there.
Is there a Mike Cunt here? No, not Mike Hunt. Mike Cunt.
Say it more, will you?
Who can hurt me? I can't get hurt right now. I can only get hurt when it's released.
All right. Yeah.
You know what? I don't think I can get canceled because it would be too confusing. Why are they canceling me? No one's going to offer me. First of all, canceling me doesn't really do much because I don't have a deal with Spotify.
Right. It's a wasted cancel.
Oh, exactly. Use it for a real thing. Phone a friend.
Once again, hey, I'm going to cancel you, motherfucker. He's not worth it.
I never understood that. I don't know if I told you I was watching the Housewives of Orange County, and this one woman, Heather Dubrow, she goes, yeah, well, you better watch it, Shannon, because next time I won't just yell at you. It's going to be, she's like implying she's going to have her killed. Well, how do you do that as an adult? Don't screw with me, because the last guy who screwed with me, Josh, woke up with cement shoes. Okay?
Maybe she was just saying she was going to beat her ass.
I don't know, but she was saying, I'm not telling. She did exactly this. I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you. That kind of thing you do when you were 12.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just very upset with Heather Dubrow right now.
Yeah, I don't remember making mafia threats at 12, but.
Well, no, in fact, that's the wrong, incorrect premise about it. It really is like a tough person when it may have been something that I said when I was 17. I think I said this when I was 15 or 16. He doesn't know who he's messing with. I must have said that.
Right.
About me, I'm saying it.
You haven't met Rich Brotherton.
I have to say that I'm very impressed with that joke. Not that he's not funny anyway, but I like that joke a lot.
Stephen Elton Yates is back to say, gents, I thought I would share a clip from my backyard trail cam. This is a red fox. Spiralers can view on Twitter. I have more. Interested? No.
Wow.
No, I'm really not. I mean, it's
Why are you not interested? I'm interested.
I mean, I'm interested in what goes through your yard. I'm just not interested in, as a feature on our audio show.
Oh, you can't. Right. It doesn't play.
All right.
It doesn't play, but it really is kind of cool.
But I would encourage everyone to follow Stephen Elton Yates. That's at Stephen E. Yates on Twitter.
If he's asking, would we be interested in more of these? I would love it. I would make one run on one though.
Yeah, I would. I want to. Yes, I want to see more. But no, I don't want them to each be hashtagged for a question on the show. How about that?
Was he threatening that?
I just wanted to be clear.
All right, I think you made your point. Esai76 says, I got a cold. Thankfully, no COVID for Esai. Man, that NyQuil is good stuff, ain't it? NyQuil. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching. How the hell did I end up on my kitchen floor medicine? What? John Pinette wasn't using it. He really did sound like he was going on he got booked into vaudeville or something.
Yeah. And I think it was what? John Pinette wasn't using it, was sort of the information.
Right. John Pinette, is, if people don't know, is a comedian who made jokes about his weight, and he's dead.
Right.
He's dead.
NyQuil overdose.
NyQuil overdose is a joke there. So if you take it like, if you take John Pinette as yours, like a saint to you,
right?
I would say don't listen to that last line. I don't know about NyQuil though. What's in it that makes you get high?
NyQuilium.
Romular is supposed to make you, in the old days, get high.
Yeah. I don't want to tell you because then you'll start guzzling it during the show.
No, I'm not that stupid, but it's close. If you see a few weeks from now someone rummaging around your garbage looking for hydrocodones, don't be surprised.
All right. Carlos says Vince McMahon fired his son Shane today. Did your dad ever fire you for fear of usurpation?
He didn't have to. He told me very clearly I was stupid at a young age.
Yeah, he was smart enough not to hire you in the first place.
Right. I don't know anything about, I don't know anything about Vince McMahon. I do know, but I didn't know that it happened. And I didn't know that he had a son named Shane.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Neither one of us are familiar with wrestling, anything about it much. Maybe you are.
I'm not. I'm really not.
Cubach says, in no uncertain terms, Josh, you are genuinely about to soon cross the Wilford Brimley line and will be older than he was when Cocoon was released. Thoughts on getting old? Andy, are you still alive? That is it's almost like a roast.
Yeah.
I have no feeling, Cubach, no feeling in my legs.
Well, I'll tell you how I feel about being old. I threw out my back going to the dentist yesterday. So.
Oh no.
Yeah. My back was super fucked after the dental chair for some.
So could you even have it happen, or did you have to leave?
No, I went through the appointment, but afterwards it was just like, what the fuck? God. And then this morning it was a much higher grade of what the fuck. But it's the first time I haven't thought about the pain in my legs in a month.
I'm very sorry that you're going through this pain. I do not like it.
Thank you. But the Wilford Brimley line is not. It was, what was harder for me was the Archie Bunker line.
What was that?
That I'm older than Archie Bunker was in the.
Oh yeah. Well, it's all starting to hurt.
Yeah.
You can't get away from it. That we're doomed.
Yeah.
Jason Presley. It's almost like Jason Priestley. Clyde. You never read I do. Now that there is a cold open, is Thought Spiral entering real show territory? Have you joined the Podcasters Association of America? It's interesting that you say that, because the same people who were involved with the Professional Comedians Association, they started the Podcasters Association of America.
Is that true?
No. So you would say, why say it? Not that funny, but I thought it was fun.
I thought it had to be one thing or the other, but apparently
not.
Yes.
No, just one of those things that you might believe because it's boring.
I think that I haven't officially formatted a cold open in. It just last week things worked out so that there was a cold open slot.
I think our show screams cold open, and it also screams weak close. But I end every other cameo with that.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't know. And remember one thing about me: I close weak. Boom. Boom. Watch me now. I'm breaking the rules. Seth Dick III said, "Would you ever visit old people, and they would have Brazil nuts?" This I do have a feeling of being experienced, but more it was hard candy in my life.
Yeah.
You know, like all grandmothers did have
a candy dish.
Yes. That probably is not true anymore, or maybe it is.
I think it's not true. I think we have, I think the candy dish generation has for the most part died off.
And if you want my opinion about why, it was because of the quality of the candy.
Yes. Also, sugar is poison.
Yeah. You know, Josh, I wish you would let me know earlier that what was going to cause me to type, I don't know if it caused it, but I have type 2 diabetes. I have it.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it. There's too much sugar entirely everywhere.
It's true. There really is.
Oh, my God. It's a long one. Look at this. This is a long one. I think you should do it because it's so long.
John Dunbar says, with the Nielsen talk on Test Show 242, it seems the right time to ask our favorite music doc authority his thoughts on who is Harry Nielsen and why is everybody talking about him. Using the Josh wet blanket scale, damp, moist, semi-soaked, drenched, saturated. Well, John Dunbar.
Wait, people really see you as some kind of a scold.
I am. I am a media scold.
If not an ombudsman.
That's right. I don't remember. I saw that movie, but it was several years ago now. And, I don't remember the filmmaking very much but I remember learning a whole lot about Harry Nielsen. So right there, that's a nod for the movie.
Oh, I want to see it. I don't even really know what he looks like or remember what he looks like.
Well, then you're a perfect candidate for this movie.
Oh, that sounds good. Where is that shown?
I don't know. Type it into the little thing at the top of your screen.
Don't tell me to do that because I can't do two things at once.
Yeah, I'm not saying do it now.
But you said that. It means I do it now.
I think you could just type in Harry Nielsen doc, but remember the two S's.
Right. I'm good. That's
so I can't really officially give it a blanket rating. But I do recommend it if you're interested in Harry Nielsen.
I just realized I could hang up on you right now and that would surprise you, but it wouldn't help. Right?
I mean, if you want it, if
no, I don't want that. No, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Okay.
Only High Thoughts 024 says if white straight men had to contend with being the victorious villains of all history for one solid second, they would all realize that there is no real enemy but capitalism that they are fighting. Hashtag dad life. I don't know what these things mean.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know enough about economics to argue. I know capitalism is bad, but I'm not fully on board with, I mean, I would like to change it by making the playing field equal and have no advantages just because you're rich. But, I don't know. I'm not up on that. Are you up on that, on Marxism?
I'm just letting it stand as a declaration. There's no there's no question mark there.
Okay. Thank you.
Crankier Kramer says, Andy, delighted to see your name and tweet turn up in this TikTok about anti-Semitic dog whistles. And then there's a TikTok that you can all go visit.
Yeah. I think it's when my name pops up, and again, in the anti-Semitic arena, that's what I like.
That's right. That's your that's your wheelhouse.
Remember when I was briefly pro-Semitic? It didn't seem to fit.
No.
I hate the Jews, and I speak from experience. I am a Jew.
That's right. You earned it.
Exactly. And welcome aboard, Cranky or Kramer. Or maybe you did ask a question before. I don't know. I'm very lost. Julian Valentich. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you are.
Andy, I see Rudy Giuliani recently appeared on The Masked Singer, prompting Ken Jeong and Robin Thicke to leave when he was unmasked. If you had your wish and were a judge, would you split also? Stay and banter as Jenny McCarthy did? A third thing that's also anti-fascist? You know, as someone who took a job on Last Comic Standing, I think it wouldn't seem honest if I said I would turn down a show.
That's
those shows
that's
make
not
me
what they're asking though. Do you know about this?
Sure.
This happening?
Sure. Yes. Okay. Oh, I thought everyone knew about it.
Right.
Rudy
They're not asking, would you take the gig? They're saying, if you were on the gig already.
I would have left.
Would you? You wouldn't have.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't have started yelling at Rudy Giuliani instead. You wouldn't have.
Oh, maybe I would have started yelling. That would have been good too, right?
That's what I'm asking.
Hey, fuckface. Hey, I would have started yelling at him. Hey, fuckface. I just want to say one thing to you, you stupid fucking Nazi. The singing wasn't bad. You're bad. Oh, really? Come over here and say that. No, in fact, don't come over here. Stay where you are. Oh, man. What are they thinking? I don't even get that they want Sarah Palin, but is that what the thing is? They're trying to, the show people there are trying to, they think that'll be good TV.
Yeah, like so much of network TV, it's like, can we generate something to get people something?
We don't know what, but something happened, right?
Right.
Yeah. I don't watch that show.
You ever watched it? It's super. No, I don't watch it. Yeah. It's super fucked up that they would get Rudy Giuliani, and it's,
and then even put the people.
The only satisfaction I get is that Giuliani is in a place in his life where he needed the money. Is my guess.
He does look worse. He always comes out looking worse than everybody else in the show who booked him, and
yeah. But
I didn't like when Sean Spicer. I mean, it's like I didn't. But
I would be fucking pissed if I was a judge on the show and they threw Giuliani in my face.
Yeah,
I would, and I certainly,
It's disgusting that they did it.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what I would do if I had good shit to say at that moment. I'd probably stay to say it.
Right. I think when you say, "Would you stay and yell at Giuliani?" That sounds like the way to go.
Yeah.
And then to claim later that I'm a rebel.
You lost. Should we do a fucking audit? Oops, you lost again.
I like when you do the Dan Wade questions.
All right, then I'll do the Dan Wade question. But I don't think that's next. I think the Captain Kangaroo, who I think we've determined you've blocked.
I guess I did block him. Should I unblock now?
I don't know.
I don't want to do it because it'll be too hard for me.
All right. A burning question. You're sentenced to death for the crime of being unfunny. Don't worry. You may choose the method of execution. Burned at the stake or buried alive? How do you go? If it's any comfort, they say you pass out from the pain after burning for a while.
I think I'm glad I blocked this guy.
Yeah.
So you can answer.
All right. Well, I'll go with burning for sure.
Well, now. Oh, I don't like things about torture. That's why I don't listen to hoo-ha.
Yeah. No, there's lots of levels on which I would prefer burning than suffocating from buried alive.
Oh.
I like that. I like that people have to watch it. I like that people have to smell it.
Oh. I have no positive feelings about what will happen after I'm dead.
I do think the endorphins would kick in at a certain point.
What happens?
I do think the endorphins and adrenaline would kick in to protect you from the truest pain before you died. So.
Well, the one that I saw the other night again was the Buddhist monk who set himself on fire. That's pretty good discipline.
It is.
Yeah.
Commitment to a bit.
Support everybody down. Dan Wade says, and capitalize. I didn't know, is Dan Wade a capitalizer? I don't know about that. Dear Thought Spiral, what would it sound like if James Mason read my manifesto in its entirety? 12 gigabyte PDF sent under separate cover. That's very funny.
That's why it's all
he's-
caps, is to make it look crazy.
Very good, Dan Wade. Very good. You got us.
Guy Incognito says, I hear that if the Bengals win the Super Bowl, James Mason will rise from the grave and do his own spin on a Skyline chili commercial. Can we have a sweet taste with extra noodles, please?
I don't know. It sounds like you're some kind of trained monkey now.
Well, yes, I would say I am a trained monkey, yes. But I'd also like to say that nothing satisfies my deep down chili hunger like a big weird-shaped plate of Skyline chili. Yes, you can have it any number of ways. I go for the 3-way myself. Pile on some beans and spaghetti, and I'm not sure what else they're using these days. It's a crazy sort of Midwestern sluice.
Yes, I have to say, Cincinnati, I loved visiting you, but you gotta come up with a different thing than that goddamn chili. Holy moly. It's like ketchup and macaroni.
Try it with ketchup and macaroni. It's an interesting taste, yes. That Skyline chili, over 35 locations, all will sicken you equally.
Most of them in the airport. Mad City Architect says, boys, with Valentine's Day coming up, any romantic plans or traditions with your lovely brides? No, except, I'll buy flowers and all that kind of stuff, but it's hard to mix up anything at this point because it's all pandemic related. You're just going to be home.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty flatline over here, too.
Yeah.
But
I've accepted that I'm never leaving, and I accepted that I'm not going to.
I might cook a slightly nicer dinner.
That's nice. I'm tearing up a little bit.
Yeah. Venezuelan Flowers and Madam on says, heard an actor tell a story about working with Altman and made me wonder who's a director or colleague who has brought out the best in you, and how did they? You guys are the bestest. From Wampus.
That's a tough one to think, Wampus, offhand to answer seriously. Who in your life would be like someone you work with? Are you okay? Are you okay?
No, yeah, sorry, I was vaping.
I'm trying to answer the question.
I was vaping.
So let me see. So this is like a collaboration. Okay. That was very good. I could have gone on forever.
Andy, no relation, says, with no context, can we hear what Andy thinks a Sarlacc pit might be?
Oh, I don't know what that is. Is it a medical device?
I don't know. This is Liars Club now.
I don't know was that a game show?
Liars Club, yes.
Yeah. Was it funny? I mean, was it good? It's like To Tell the Truth, kind of, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
But with Larry Hovis.
I like Larry Hovis. How was he as a talk show, as a game show host?
He was great. He was, I think he was more a guest. I don't remember. He might have been the host.
Is it next to the La Brea Tar Pits?
No, I'm afraid it's not.
What do you think it is? You don't know?
I do know. It's a Star Wars thing.
Oh. Is that like when the people say Bubba Hotep? Bubba Hotep?
No, it's nothing like
What is Bubba Hotep?
You don't want to hear.
Is it bad?
It's horrible.
Is it racist?
I'm just kidding. I don't.
You could get me going so fast. It's so easy. It's never, that you got me. Hey, wait a second. Eastside 76 is back.
Yeah.
As the official Mexican of Thought Spiral, I have to weigh in on the flour or wheat tortilla question from last Thought Spiral. Fish tacos must be on corn. That's it. Flour or corn for any other taco, only exception is for gluten reasons. I have spoken. I take his word that he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
I'll run that by my wife too and see what she says, because she's also. I wanted to tell you this before I forget, Josh. This has happened between Susan and I. You know, like she's the only person I can do bits with except for you. So she kind of like plays along sometimes.
Yeah.
So I said to her, I don't know what we're talking about again. Susan, do I have to remind you? No, I'm doing it as I'm kidding around. Susan, do I have to remind you that I'm a songwriter? And she goes, yeah, great. How'd that work out for you? And then we both laughed like small children.
Yeah. Good.
That was good. I didn't mean to take a pressure off of take the Eastside, but Eastside, I will accept any of your Mexican food suggestions.
Chaotic Neutral says, hey guys, I've always been curious about performers who become with onstage persona. There was a little syntax
right.
here. Andrew Dice Clay, Gene Simmons, Larry the Cable Guy, I assume. Are there any you can think of that don't suck?
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman would be one example.
Yeah, there you go.
But that's a good question. I don't like, I think Dice is, of those names that you gave, would be someone who has at least made me laugh as that character.
Yeah, I mean, Emo's a character.
That's true. That's true, and he's funny. Richard Cole says, do your wives smoke weed? My wife does not because of asthma, but she does edibles.
Yeah. Well, I don't really want to out my wife one way or the other.
Oh, I don't know what my wife does, I meant to say.
But I will say, from my observations, couples where only one person does, it's a problem.
Why are you laughing over there? What are you laughing at?
Right.
His life's funny. I don't know what he sees in it. Well, Josh,
Yeah.
do you have a letter that you'd like to read? I think I don't know if it's a good day for a letter, but I'm into it.
Dear Thought Spiral, how do I support the show? Well, that's a good question.
Oh, that's an interesting letter to get.
Yeah, I'd say the best way to support the show is to go to buymeacoffee.com/Thought Spiral and buy us a coffee or two.
Oh, I
threw an
got
or two, but you know, that's that.
I got a letter too. It says, "Dear Thought Spiral, why can't Andy do the bit where he hangs up the phone without Josh figuring it out?" And remember one thing about me, I close weak. Boom. Boom.